Before getting started with today's episode, I'd like to thank the sponsors behind Web3 Deep Dive. Thank you to Freedom GPT. Freedom GPT is the app store for artificial intelligence that allows anyone to access any AI model. Finally, thanks to JTX Media for the video and audio production behind this podcast, based out of Austin, Texas. Hey everyone, welcome back to Web3 Deep Dive. I'm so excited for today's episode. I'll be speaking with Rune Christensen. He is the co-founder of MakerDAO. Hey Rune, how's it going?
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And here we are in Austin, so welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Rune, before we get started with today's interview, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your background, and about MakerDAO?
Yeah, I'm the co-founder of MakerDAO. I got into crypto super early, but quickly I realized that to make it actually useful, easy to use, to make sense for normal people, you needed stability. So that's how I got into stablecoins, because stablecoins is really the key product that opens up this kind of user-friendliness that you need to make crypto accessible.
Yeah. So what is MakerDAO for the listeners that may not be familiar with MakerDAO?
Well, so MakerDAO is the world's third largest stablecoin project and the largest decentralized stablecoin. So what a stablecoin is it's a crypto with a stable value, right? Always pegged to the dollar, because that's just the most popular currency in the world. The thing that makes Maker really unique is that because it's a decentralized stablecoin, then the value behind the stablecoin is protected and controlled through a blockchain-based system instead of like a company, basically. So that gives it some advantages, like you can have more transparency, you can have more resilience and diversification. Everything can be viewed live on the blockchain. But also what it has that's really unique is that it has a native yield called the DAI savings rate. So the DAI savings rate right now is paying out 8%. It's available to everyone in the world except for US-based people. And there's billions of dollars right now earning that 8% in real time, right? All on the blockchain. And I think the native yield component is sort of like, the other aspects of a decentralized stablecoin, like decentralization being, something that gives you transparency, gives you resilience, gives you security. It's really, really important, but the thing that can sort of get more adoption is the yield. So that's kind of what we are increasingly focused on, right? How can we grow this? How can we create something that's relevant to regular people?
So let's back up a bit. So MakerDAO's stablecoin is DAI, right? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
That's right.
Okay, and it's a decentralized stablecoin.
Yes.
What's the difference between a decentralized stablecoin and like a stablecoin?
Yeah, so you have USDC and USDT. So they're the other two major stablecoins. The way they work is it's basically a company holding the money and then sort of issuing the token, and then when people want to turn the stablecoin into dollars in the bank, they go to the company and the company redeems it for them. And with a decentralized stablecoin, there's no company holding the money. There is like a smart contract, a blockchain-based program, managing all of this on the blockchain, and then connecting out to all sorts of to various external systems, right? So that so one of the things that keeps DAI stable is actually that you can convert it into USDC, for instance, but also that it's backed with treasuries, backed with basically like all sorts of collateral, both in the real world, but also crypto loans. And that makes it different because the centralized stablecoin is really they just hold them, like the money, just hold it in the bank, basically. It's pretty straightforward, but it has the limitation that it's tied to one particular jurisdiction. And that also means that currently there's no major centralized stablecoin that can offer this kind of built-in native yield that we offer with DAI stablecoin today.
Right, and so users in the US though do not have access to DAI, is that what you mentioned?
Yeah, so currently, unfortunately, because the regulatory situation in the US has been very unclear for a long time. So I mean, yeah, luckily, I mean, the great news is it looks like we're getting that clarity that we need, right? So uncertainty is the enemy of innovation, and I think it's going to be really valuable for the US to become more friendly and create better frameworks for crypto businesses.
Do you think if we get to that point, we'll see DAI being used in the United States at some point?
Well, okay, so DAI is used in the US now, actually, right? So it's available as a stablecoin everywhere. So there's plenty of Americans using the DAI stablecoin just as cash. The thing that is currently not available is getting the built-in yield.
The built-in yield. Okay,
yeah, but with more, like, I mean, definitely, I mean, I think it will be really amazing to be able to in the future open up for letting Americans access this really attractive yield, right? It's a stable coin that has a very long track record, right? It's one of the largest. It's a very long running project. Yet the yield is very competitive, right?
Got it.
Because we get the best yield both from traditional finance and from the crypto markets, and can sort of pick the best of both worlds.
Freedom GPT is an app store for AI. Freedom GPT is most commonly known for its censor-free AI model called Liberty that answers literally any prompt you ask with an unbiased response. Unlike other AIs where controversial topics are off limits, Freedom GPT embraces the concept that you should be able to ask AI anything. Equally important, Freedom GPT has the option to be run locally on your computer so your data remains 100% private and secure. Check out Freedom GPT's over 80 AI models today. So can we talk a little bit about the evolution of stablecoins? Because I feel like right now, we were just mentioning this, stablecoins have become one of the hottest topics in the crypto industry, but I don't think that was always the case. What's your take on the evolution of stablecoins?
Yeah, it's funny, when we started out, stablecoins were considered sort of a boring use case. That was more like, you need this to enable all the cool stuff. Now it turns out the stablecoin is just the cool use case, right? I mean, it's adopted all over the world, right? It's the first real example of blockchain having, I mean, really like sort of a major impact in the real world for regular people that aren't like tech nerds or something, right? And I think that's where we should where we need to go even further from here, right? So in Maker, where we hope to sort of build on top of this trend of stablecoins being really popular, is to basically push on the ability to provide yield, and then just making it even more user friendly, right? So that's like the big thing that's coming from Maker next, is that we are focusing on building an app, sort of transforming the project towards this app as the way to really deliver this yield in a way that's very user friendly, is familiar to regular people, and by doing that, opening up for the possibility of really scaling this even beyond where stablecoins currently are, because you can add this really important aspect of being able to provide that yield.
Does MakerDAO currently have an app already?
So currently there's like many different, so MakerDAO currently is what you could think of it more as like a protocol or platform,
okay.
Right? So so there are many different apps that provide access to the underlying infrastructure of the DAI stablecoin. And with our new, what we call the Endgame transformation, which is basically this like major upcoming change. With that, we're building what we currently call it referred to as the Endgame app, right? So basically like a streamlined app that will be this one-stop shop where if you don't know, like if you're not clear about what to do, this is like sort of the easiest place to go. And the goal is just to build really the ultimate easy-to-use money app for regular people to get the advantages of crypto and of blockchain, and just have the best place to save and grow your money, all while just having it as easy as use as possible, right? So you can get the crypto advantages without having to really, you don't have to understand it, you don't have to, look into what's going on under the hood. You just need to know that it's a really safe, secure system with a very long track record. And it's optimized to be easy to use and to be as appealing as possible, so it can grow beyond the crypto bubble.
Great, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Can we expect that this year?
Yeah. So Endgame launch is coming in the next couple of months.
Okay.
And there will actually be there's multiple releases coming close to each other. So the first is the new app is coming, and then with that new user experience, there's actually a complete rebrand of the project. So Maker will actually fully rebrand end to end, and the reason is simple. It's all to just further support this goal of making it as easy to use as it's possible to do, right? So it's a new app, new brand, all towards this goal of being able to get mass adoption from regular people. With that, there's new tokens coming, a new stablecoin, a new governance token, right, which is the kind of the token that plays a role similar to equity. And the reason for the new tokens is just so they also have the new brand, right? So you really have this very streamlined, simple experience of this is the best place to go and save your money, grow your money with the yield that's possible through DeFi, through crypto, through blockchain, but also tapping into traditional finance, right? Whatever has the best risk reward. Then following this initial launch, what's coming next is the sub-DAO launch. And so sub-DAOs is kind of it's basically the unique sort of a killer app coming with Endgame, right? So we've already laid the foundation. We're building this app that's the simplest, easiest to use place to save and grow your money. You can hold your money, you can get a cash return on this money if you're not located in the US. But with sub-DAOs, what we're doing is we are trying to make it more exciting than just getting the best yield in an easy to use way, right? We're trying to add something unique to it that you can only do with blockchain. And the way it works is that, so the Maker system is a very valuable business, right? It's generating about $300 million per year in revenue. And sub-DAOs are basically, it's basically the act of taking a slice of this business model, spinning it off into its own kind of decentralized startup. Then now this new sub-DAO startup really has the flexibility and the focus to grow this business further. The first example we have of this is Spark. So Spark is one of the most anticipated coming new projects because it's the first sub-DAO coming from Maker. It hasn't even launched yet, but it's already got the world's 9th largest DeFi protocol. So it's very popular. And what's coming with this Endgame launch, so alongside the app and then followed up with Spark, is that the token of Spark will launch. And that's kind of where it all comes together, because the key is that the way you can get this token is you can get it for free in the app just by saving your money, right? You can choose to get the regular cash yield as you're used to, or you can choose to, if you want something a little bit more exciting, you can actually choose to get Spark tokens instead. So it's a bit more of like a gamified experience where you get higher yield, but also more variable yield. And the key thing is the risk actually remains the same. Like the underlying exposure you have to your principal, like the money you put in, is all just a stablecoin.
Wow, yeah. Well, that's exciting. I'm going to be on the lookout for all of these developments. Rune, I know we're out of time, but we can do a follow-up and go more in depth into stablecoins and MakerDAO. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I'd also like to thank the sponsors behind Web3 Deep Dive. You can click the links in the show notes to learn more about each of the Web3 initiatives from these sponsors. Finally, thanks to the listeners for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you guys next time.